IVM.
Hey everybody, quick request once again, if you could help us out by filling out our survey. It's at ivmpodcast.com/survey. This really helps us talk to advertisers about the kinds of people listening to these shows. Really do appreciate your help, and we're going to be doing a random drawing, and we'll be sending out some IVM swag. Hope you enjoy that.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. Today's episode is the second last one in the current series of A to Z, which has been all about relationships. And if you haven't listened to all of them, well, then you want to head back to episode number 125, which is where it all began, with A for acceptance. So today we have the letter Y, and the word that I have chosen is yearning. When it comes to love, we are all always yearning for something. Some of us are yearning for love itself, and some of us are yearning for something in a relationship from that special someone. Well, I'm going to start with the single people who have tuned in. Yes, those who are seeking love, those who are out there dating, even those who aren't out there dating but want to be. The number one mistake that we make is that we start to lose hope and faith because of disappointments, because of treating disappointments as major heartbreaks. And we begin to yearn for love. We step into an energy of desperation and fear. And that is why I chose this word yearning. Because it's one thing to want love, but to need it to the point where our peace of mind is taken away, to need it to the point where our own sense of self is questioned, to need it in a manner in which we make ourselves feel hopeless. That is not okay. Personally, I'm someone who believes in standing in a determined space in my life rather than a desperate energy about anything, love included. And honestly, that is the same advice that I would give you. If you go back to episode number 31, it's called Determined versus Desperate. There is a life hack in it. There is a perspective in it, which will help you realign what you feel today in your love life, in your so-called singleness. And I will tell you this. When you step into desperate energy, when you start feeling like, oh my God, I'm never going to find love. Is there love even out there for me? I've been single for so long. How many more people will I have to meet? How many more times will I have to have my heart broken? When you start having these kind of conversations with yourself, you deepen the yearning for love. You send yourself into the energy of lack. And I can only tell you this, lack will only attract more lack. If your mind gets used to this sense of lack, it will do everything to keep that narrative true for you. Yes, our mind is a very funny part of our being. It often acts against us rather than acts in support of us. But it does that because it has only one core function, which is to make us survive. And, well, survival is most efficient or most possible in familiar surroundings. So if you get used to feeling a sense of lack, don't be surprised if your mind is throwing tricks at you to keep you in that space. Which brings me to another question to all you single people who are listening to this out there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is your longing for love? Or rather, how intense is your longing for a relationship? Yes, that's the difference. Some of us want love. Yes. Well, let me correct that. All of us want love. But most of us are chasing a relationship, a commitment, marriage. We're chasing these labels. We're not flowing towards that feeling. So when you sit at that table across somebody with whom you're having this brilliant connect, you're not present in that moment enjoying the feeling. You have instead gone off on a treasure hunt to figure out whether a relationship is possible here, whether there'll be commitment here, whether, this will turn into that magical relationship that you've been sketching out in your mind. And in that one small moment, you have stepped out of enjoying what you are experiencing the beginning of possible love, the potential of love that is present at the table in that moment. And you have stepped into an illusion that you have titled relationship. And this is the risk of giving into the yearning within you. So ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is that yearning? If you put it down to 8, 9 or higher, then you really need to take a step back and you need to ask yourself, what is so bad in my life as it is right now, as a single person, that I am dying so much to have a relationship, or I'm so desperate to have a relationship? Why is it that I have made myself believe that without a relationship, my life is incomplete, or without love, I'm missing out on something so much that the rest of my life has no value? The rest of the good times that happen in my life aren't good enough to fill me up or to fuel me. It's one thing to want something, it's one thing to need something, but yearning for it, love is needed, it should be wanted, but don't go getting all desperate about it. That's when you will make a mistake, that's when you will make a wrong choice, that's when you will create an illusion of a relationship and end up feeling empty or lost, or then just experience lack instead of love every single day. I'm going to move to all those who have tuned in who are in relationships, whether in a marriage or just dating somebody, whichever way. Ask yourself, what am I longing for in this relationship? What am I yearning for? Is there anything in this relationship that creates such a deep sense of lack that it makes me yearn for that? And whatever it is, whether it is attention from your partner, whether it is wanting them to behave a certain way with you, whether it is wanting a specific experience to happen, take a step back and ask yourself, why is it that I'm not getting this? One. And number two, what will I feel when I do get it? What is missing without this aspect in this relationship? When you answer those two questions, you may want to go back to episode 125, which is about acceptance, because you may realize that you are expecting something from your partner that is not in his or her nature to give. Also listen to episode 129, which is all about expectations. And you may be able to bring all these things that you are yearning for into balance. Again, needing it, wanting it is one thing. Longing for it with a sense of desperation and feeling a sense of lack is not okay. That is how you create problems in your relationship when none exist. And that is how you cause cracks to form in your relationship, because you will experience a breakdown of communication. When we are yearning for something so badly and we're sitting there and feeling this intense sense of lack, it is very difficult to communicate that to our partner in a rational way, in a language that they could understand. Instead, we use the language of drama. And if you're wondering what is the language of drama, then that is in episode number 128. Yes, you can see what I'm doing there, right? I'm sending you back to all the episodes of this series, starting from 125. Listen to it, because 2021 could be the year when you heal your relationships and also learned to thrive in your love life. On that note, I'm going to head out of here, and I'm going to remind you that there's one more episode in this particular series which will be out on Wednesday this week. And after that, in the new year, we're moving into talking about life purpose. How to figure out what your purpose is, what is your calling, how to understand that one word which is kind of driving a lot of us nuts right now. So on that note, guys, I wish you guys happy celebrations this weekend. Wishing everyone an abundant and joyous beginning to the new year, and I will catch you in 2021. As always, all episodes are available on the IVM Podcast app and website. You can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is IVM Podcast. If any of you would like to reach out to me personally, you can DM me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel. On that note, once again, I will catch you in 2021.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. One more reminder, people, please go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and help us out. It will take you a couple of minutes to fill out this survey, but it really is very, very helpful for us. For the people who do fill out the survey and are willing to drop us their email address, we're going to do a special drawing and send out some IVM swag to everybody. So please do help us out with that. But what a week it's been on the network. There's so many things to talk to you all about. Let me run through some of the biggest highlights really, really quickly, right? So Sanjay Jha was on Cyrus Says. What an incredible conversation. I mean, I can't say enough about it. Check that out. We had Hansal Mehta on Marukinay's Note talking about 1992 Scam. Amazing stuff. We had Vishal Gondal talking to Nikhil Advani about his career in film. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vineet spoke to Gunjan Arya, the CEO of OML, and Samiksha Unyal from Bacardi about the history of NH7, the Weekender Festival. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav had an amazing episode about the Bushmen of Kalahari. Begin the Journey, Ashish Vidyarthi talks about career choices. On Nankari, they talk about cake. What a fun show that was. And on This Round is on Me, we had Dr. Sanjay Arora talking to Gauri about Suburban Diagnostics Company and what he sees as the future of healthcare in India. And for our Tamil speakers, if you haven't been checking out Sivakami and Sabatam, why haven't you? Please do go check that out. Kavita's doing an amazing job telling that story. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
जिंदगी डायरीज के पन्नों में कुछ पुरानी यादें, समुंदर किनारे झूमते दरख्त, जवान दिल की धड़कनें और अनजान मुलाकातें हैं। तो आइए खोलिए मेरे साथ जिंदगी डायरी के पन्ने और साथ ही खुलकर जीते हैं जिंदगी। आप सुन सकते हैं जिंदगी डायरीज IVM पॉडकास्ट ऐप या वेबसाइट पर, या जहां कहीं से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो।